All right, a Fox News alert. Overnight Secretary of State Mike Pompeo confirming a bombshell report from Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu that shows Iran had been lying before the signing of the Iran nuclear deal.
Mike Pompeo offering a stark warning, saying in part, quote, Iran had a vast atomic archive from the world until today. Here now to react is national security analyst Dr. Rebecca Grant. Thank you for joining us this morning. We really appreciate it. In your opinion, how does knowing this information now help and hurt us?
Well, I see that going both ways. So Pompeo has said the information is authentic, but the question is partly about the timing. So on the one hand, this shows that Trump was right to be very suspicious of this deal. On the other hand, it's a little bit worrying because we're in very delicate negotiations with Europe and with Russia and China about how to modify this deal. So the question going forward is, can the big six that are signatories to this deal still find a good way to modify it?
Well, Doctor, the big question right now is whether or not this amounts to Iran actually cheating on the deal, and that's what everybody's trying to figure out. There's some speculation there as to whether or not lying in the years and months before signing the deal means that the deal is void, that they've actually cheated on the deal. How do you see it?
Good point, Rob. As Britain says, we're not naive about Iran. We know they were pursuing a nuclear weapons program. That's why we had the deal. That's why the Stuxnet attack was done. Here's the technical difficulty. The IAEA says that they are still technically in compliance, and that has to do with the amount of uranium that they're processing. So technically they're in compliance, but we know that this is just not a good situation going forward.
Dr. Rebecca Grant, Ron Dermer, Israeli ambassador to the U.S., was on Special Report last night, and he said that this isn't a smoking gun, this is a smoking bomb. Do you agree, and how significant is this in your opinion?
It's significant for two reasons, and one is that this is partly a blow by Israel against Iran. Remember, they are skirmishing. They've attacked each other's bases, the drone incursion, the shoot downs. So this is part of that fight going on between Israel and Iran. Now, it's significant that they're cheating, but this is not enough in itself to get us to where we need to go. We need agreement among the signatories, and we need Iran to accept some stricter conditions, specifically restrictions on missile development. So we still have a ways to go. I expect a bumpy ride here, and oil prices are going to continue to bounce around as we see this instability going forward.
A lot of our allies say that ending this deal is not a good idea, A, because we signed it, and B, because Iran was given so much at the beginning of the deal. But again, to quote the ambassador, he has said that, Iran is getting something like billions of dollars, maybe $35 billion a year in sanctions relief. If we re-up this thing in May, we're handing them even more money. What is the right answer here? On the one hand, you've got a deal that we signed that a lot of our allies think we need to stay in. On the other side, you've got Netanyahu.
We know the deal was bad because we should have gotten a lot more at the time. But here's the thing. Everyone wants a deal with Iran. We just need it to be a good deal. It isn't a good deal now. It needs to be stronger. Trump has been very patient. It's clear to me he'd like to stay in or modify it to keep Iran from developing nuclear weapons. It all comes down to whether France, Germany, UK, Russia, China, and us can agree on something that will give them that strength and that confidence that this is a better deal. Otherwise, the deal ends and they can enrich uranium right away. Iran is not helping. They come out and say, hey, we enrich more uranium now. So they're really not helping. But it's clear to me they want to stay in, but it needs to be the right deal going forward.
Dr. Grant, thank you for your insight and for your time this morning. We appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you.
It is